Hey, what's up? It's Willpower Astrology. I'm Will, and we're talking about the North Node in Leo, continuing the lunar nodes series that I'm doing. It's Leo, so I had to wear this Heartbreaker T-shirt, a shirt, tank top, Mariah. Okay, to give the okay. All right. So the North Node is the place where, astronomically, where the Earth's rotation gets crossed by the Moon's rotation. So the Moon is going around the Earth, and then it hits the Earth's orbit here in front, and that's the North Node. It hits here and back, and that's the South Node. They're always going to be opposite of each other, and the lunar nodes tend to move in a constant retrograde motion. Because we're headed this way, it's going that way. Usually going against us, unless you've got a little moon wobbling in there. Sometimes it's a little inconstant of an orbit, but for the most part, it's going backwards. It's now September, end of the summer of 2022, and we're in the North Node in Taurus. We're working our way backwards, and now we have reached to the North Node in Leo. So, metaphorically, the North Node is what we are here in this life to learn how to do energetically. It's what we're here to, it's outside of our comfort zone. It's outside of what we already know. We're supposed to take our experiences from the South Node, from our past life, kind of master that, and then step into the qualities of the North Node. So this is kind of like a life karma thing. It's about past life incarnations. There's this karmic element to your soul's kind of overall journey. You're experiencing life as your sun sign, but you're on this kind of like spiritual quest to go into your nodal axis. So the tendency is going to be that we stay stuck in our South Node habits, and it typically represents like the bad habits or the lower kind of resonance habits or whatever. So starting off with the South Node in Aquarius, what you're going to have a tendency to do is to constantly defer to the group. And by this, it could be your family members, by constantly checking in to make sure everybody's okay. Do you need something? Do you need something? Do you need something? Because Aquarius is the water bearer, wants to be useful, wants to be helpful, wants to be a vessel for the good of the people. But it also means that you give up opportunities for yourself, and you're constantly, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? A lot of times, it's not going to serve you well to always be checking in for results in that way. From past life karma, people with the South Node in Aquarius, from me, in my experience, this tends to be people that had to, in some way, shape, or form, be some kind of like parental figure to their other siblings. So this could be like an oldest sibling that, had to play mom when mom was at work, type of a deal. It could be, you know what I mean? It's all this stuff about you. From your past life, you were a public servant. You were in the community. You were making sure everybody had what they needed. And you were, so focused on what the needs of the people that you lose sight of yourself. Let's see where I'm at. I'm talking a lot faster than on these other videos, I feel. So maybe we'll kind of just delve into it. I'll just get right into her, okay? So in the South Node in Aquarius, you're so wrapped up in doing stuff for other people that you forget to put your own self out there. Aquarius is all about people power. It's relation to groups, communities, networks. I belong to this church group. I graduated from this school. These are my school friends. These are my work colleagues. Whatever group that you relate to, you're going to like Aquarians are constantly checking back into the group for results. Is that working? Do you guys have what you need? Do you guys have what you need? Do you guys have what you need? But it also spreads them really thin. So with the South Node in Aquarius, you can be self-sacrificing to the point of kind of being like, you make it a martyr thing. You make it like oh, I'm just helping you. I'm just like, oh, And it's like, if you put just a fraction of the effort that you put to other people, to put to your own self and like your goals, then you would be able to just be unstoppable. Um, so what else is this? This could be maybe you grew up in a large family, then you never got to have like a slice of cake for yourself. Everybody got to have little slices of cake, that type of thing. It could be stuff from your childhood um, that you're carrying with you into your adultness. But it's this idea that we have to constantly be giving away of ourselves. Um, because I think on the low end, what it could be is that the people with the South Node in Aquarius, it's like what, like meddlesome. Like the more that you get into people's business, the more bugged they're gonna be by you. So the more that you want to be a part of that community, the more that you go chasing it, the more that people are gonna be like, oh, no, 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 no. So you're gonna constantly come into scenarios where you're just trying to be part of the group, or you're just trying to have fun and do it like the other kids are doing it. And you're like, and they're like, no, it's not that for you. You know what I mean? Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna mimic other people. It's very Aquarian to kind of co-opt the experiences of others. So maybe like you get caught telling a story that didn't happen to you because they're trying to come up with something interesting to say at a party, so you co-opt your friend's story. That's very Aquarian. When Aquarians are not centered in who they are. Do you know what I mean? But Aquarians and Leos, let's talk about that dynamic. People power, Aquarius, versus kingly power or personal power of Leo. So all the oppositions, all the signs that are across from each other are like octaves of each other. Like musically, harmonically, they're the same. This is higher, this is lower, but they're both that note, right? And this is one and this is it times 8. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thinking. So with Leo, kingly power, personal power, I will do this, I will do that. It's Leo's motto is I will. And Aquarius's motto is something like I know, we believe, some kind of bullshit like that. I don't know. I should have looked it up before I started this. But anyway, when you get into a group, this is what I'm going with this. When you get into a group and you're sitting down at a table, right? Because Leo's like King Arthur. Leo wants to have everybody be equal and sit at a table, but they want to be the one at the middle going, you do this, you do that. That's kind of how they function and what their role is. So then when you get into a group with other people and everybody's just as kingly or as personal powerful as you are or more, that's why I'm saying the more that you chase being a part of the group, the more the group is going to push you out. What you're here in this life to develop is a sense of refinement in your own skills and achievements and a sense of personal pride in your own self. And ultimately, that's what moving toward the North Node in Leo is all about. You're here to learn how to kind of roar and use your own like prowess to get things done. It's not so much like the other fixed signs where it's like in Taurus you have to do something and create something and be reliant on your own skills to pay your bills. It's not like North Node in Scorpio because you're not trying to like it's not about merging with other people. You know how to be harmonious with other people because you're coming from that Aquarian place, right? You know how to fill other people's cups, right? You're here to be the king or the queen in this life that is sitting there getting your cup filled. And you're supposed to sit there and go, bring me another one. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be about you learning how to be okay with being the one that is calling the shots, being the one that is giving out commands, being the one that is like kind of taking the lead of the group. Because sometimes if we're too stuck in that Aquarian energy, what we can get in that South Node Aquarius mix is too many cooks in the kitchen. You got this person, that person, Bob, Sue, and Joe down the street thinking that they can tell you what to do about your day-to-day life or whatever. And so then You're constantly getting input and you're like, da 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 da. But every once in a while, and what you're here to learn to do is go, okay, group, different groups, let's manage our expectations. Here's what I will do. Here's what I'm going to do. And it makes it so that when you go out and you do your own shit and you follow your heart, because that's really what that Leo is following your own personal, what your heart calls to do and what is for you. You know what I mean? And what I've noticed is the people that I know that have this sign are very humanitarian at heart. It brings them great joy and a sense of personal satisfaction to be in professions where they are literally engaged in helping other people near constantly. You know what I mean? But what it is that they got good at the skills of managing with groups, having, roughness and bumpiness along that way. But now that they're learning that they are the one that is in charge, they're learning in their adultness that they are the adultiest adult in the room. We're going away from people power and we're going towards kingly personal power. And Leo represents the father principle. So it's very like big daddy energy. And it can be not so much big daddy energy, but like when it's younger, it's like, oh yeah, like I'll tell you what to do, like puffed up. But like once you get into your settled state and you can kind of deal with these people and you're like, listen, let me deal with it. I'm the king, I'm the queen, I'm in charge. Everything stops with me. I'll make the decision. I'll take the heat. Whatever is that thing. Because Leo ultimately does feel a sense of personal responsibility for those things. You know what I mean? So it's like even to the point sometimes of feeling responsible for shit that's not theirs. And that's where it loops back around to get into that Aquarian nature. That pull of the axis between Leo, the personal kingly power, and Aquarius, people power. Like we're all good at this table. So we're going away from deferring to the group. It's not about ask your expertise, da 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 da. It's about developing your own expertise and developing your own passions and having that engine going within your own heart. And the Leo motto is I will. So it's all about spine. It's all about the back and the chest and like saying it with your chest and roaring. Like the male lion is secretly really lazy. I don't know if anybody knows this. But the female lion is secretly kind of a workaholic. Like she's gonna kind of never be satiated, she's always on the go. She gotta get stuff done. Anyway, yeah, you're here in this life to learn how to I'm 13 minutes? I don't know how I'm going to talk for 7 more minutes. Y'all getting a really short video, I'm afraid. Yeah, anyways, you're here to learn how to not worry so much about what everybody else is doing. And it's like everybody else. You're here to know what you want to do. And you're here to go do what you want to do. And the thing is that once you build up that sense of personal pride, because I think that it's hard for you, like maybe you're not celebrated as a child, or maybe you in a really strict environment where it's like everybody has to get the same stuff and you're not going to get treated in a way that is celebratory, right? So you have to learn how to celebrate your own shit. You have to learn how to take pride in the things that you are doing. And then once you do that, that's the paradox of the North and the South Node, is once you master this South Node energy, and then we get into this North Node energy, it's that paradox of once I do that thing that feels weird to me of going into the North Node, which in this case is stepping into my heart space, stepping into my power, stepping into my pride of my own like shit that I've done in the world. When you develop that personal power, when you go back and sit at those tables, then people are like, hey, tell me about your thing. Tell me about whatever. And you can say, listen, we're not doing that. We're doing this, that, and the other thing. You know what I mean? So it's when you step into that sense of you're the one with the authority in your life. You are the one that is making decisions. And, because Leo is about this thing, like your decisions affect not just yourself, but also other people. And that's the mastery of the South Node in Aquarius as well. So I'm trying to think of other moments. Oh, you know what I did not talk about? I did not talk about the dates and times of the North Node in Leo. So coming up, we have it in from the end of 2035 to May 29th of 2037. So not for several years again, but we just had this May 19th of 2017 to November 6th of 2018. So for me, I took a big professional step during that time. Uh, this really tracks, like I felt like I stepped into being a grown-up. I was like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta make sure that this, that, and the other thing is taken care of. Um, paid off some bills, did some shit like that. Like I really wrangled a bunch of stuff that was kind of hanging threads, and really went, okay, we're gonna take care of this, take care of that, and it went bam, bam, bam. Like that time period for me personally, really reflected this energy. So the Gen Z placement of this would be October 19th of 1998 to April 8th of 2000. There is not a millennial placement for this. Maybe that's why millennials have such bad self-esteem, is because we don't know how to take a pride in our own achievements. Like literally as a generation, the quality escapes us. Let's see here. January 5th to 7th, 1980. Skip a couple days, and then January 12th to September 20th of 1981 is the later of the Gen X placements. To the tail end of the baby boomers, this is June 10th of 1961 to December 22nd of 1962. So the very end of the baby boomers had this, learning how to be your own roar, learning how to, trust your own shit, hunt up your own stakes, like whatever is that lion metaphor. Going back to the 40s, this is November 20th of 1942 to May 11th of 1944. Going back, this is August 27th to 30th of 22. Just a couple days, it dipped in and then dipped back. And then from April 22nd, 1924 to October 26, 1925, and then all the way to the back of the 20th century, September 17th, 1905 to March 29th, 1907. So, blammo. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. Like, maybe I should... Let's talk about this for a second. Let's talk about the house placements, because maybe that will help flesh this out a little bit to be the same kind of time as the other ones. Leos, if we're stepping away from the Aquarius, which is 11th house, it's about all this stuff that is intangible. It's talking about hopes and dreams and wishes, networks and plans and other people. A lot of what this North Node is about those plans and dreams, and like that intangible stuff is not going to be something that is fruitful for somebody with the North Node in Leo. For somebody with the North Node in Leo, what you're going to want to do is like achievements and goals and like a checklist and getting stuff done, because you can get lost in the fantasy of, oh wow, it could be this, it could be that, it could be whatever. And it's almost like the Seven of Cups in the tarot, to where, we're in this Aquarian dream state. We're like, oh wow, it's this, it's that, it could be whatever, and we're input from everyone, to the point where you never make any moves at all, because you're like, it's not the ideal time. Oh, I thought that I would, fit these jeans again. Oh, I thought that I would, get back to doing that crafts again. Oh, I thought that I would, like, for you, it's about getting this stuff done and like making it happen on your own. And maybe you don't actually do it. Maybe you wrangle somebody else to do it, because that's a very Leo thing too. Like very, like, what's his name? That painted the fences and got all the other kids to paint the fences. That's very Leo energy. It's that kid. It's like that. You want to do that. But you want to wrangle the stuff done that you want done. And if you're going to know if it's right, if it makes your heart burn, if it makes your heart feel like a warm sense of glowing, for you, that's not for anybody else. This is maybe one of the more, like, it's hard to say you're going away from a humanitarian, dreamy, connected networks and more to about like the stuff that you actually want to do because you just like it. But your passions are going to lead you into a new dimension that you couldn't have dreamt of because dreams are intangible. And when you actually have the passion to go get some shit done and follow your heart, like a Leo, then you're going to see things come into reality that are way better than that intangible shit that you got lost in. You know what I mean? You don't need to do everything at once. What you need to do is just pick a road and go there. Because you can always backtrack and go, I'm going to go back to where I started from. Or I'm going to start from here and go to a new spot or whatever. But for somebody with the South Node in Aquarius that is operating with this energy, it's always waiting for a brighter tomorrow, always waiting for a better day. You know, if you have the fine china, why are you not using it? Like, it's never going to be a better occasion than right now. If you're having that special bubbly, like, make an occasion for yourself. You know what I mean? Because the more you chase other people and groups and communities or whatever, the more you're not going to get that. But the more that you celebrate yourself and the more you be like, I'm the one, and the more that you really embody that energy of being proud in what you do and being able to roar with your own lion roar or whatever, then you'll be really stepping into that North Node. It's not about finding consensus. This is another thing that I think I forgot to say earlier is Aquarians want everybody to feel good about it. Leos don't necessarily care. If they know what they're doing is right, then they don't necessarily care if you agree with them or if what they're doing is popular. Do you know what I mean? They're very concerned about like truth and justice and that kind of stuff. So for you, it's about, if you're gonna roar, roar. But then if people are gonna be mad, let them be mad. They'll come back and apologize to you. Trust and believe that they will come back and apologize to you because you will have been right. Do you know what I mean? Stay right. If you stay right, you ain't got to get right. And that's very like a North Node in Leo type of an energy. Anyways, it's been a couple days and I'm kind of getting back in the flow of this, but you know, hey, what's up, North Node Leo? Y'all heartbreaker. Bloop.